The package arrived 3 days later. Penny came home from school to find her mother standing in the kitchen holding a torn cardboard box. Sarah's face was white as paper. "Penny, did you order something online?" Her voice shook. "No, Mama." "What is it?" Sarah didn't answer. Instead, she showed Penny what was inside the box. It was a chef's knife. Expensive, professional, with a blade that caught the afternoon light like a mirror. Attached to it was a note written on heavy cream-colored paper. "Stop now or someone gets hurt. This is your only warning." Penny felt her stomach drop. She knew exactly who had sent it. "We need to call the police," Sarah said, reaching for her phone. "No." Penny grabbed her mother's arm. "Mama, please. If we call the police, they'll make me drop out of the competition. And then Grandpa's story never gets told." Sarah knelt down to look Penny in the eyes. "Baby, I don't care about any competition. Someone is threatening us. This is serious." "I know it's serious." Penny's voice was stronger than Sarah had ever heard it. "That's why we can't give up. Grandpa died because he was too scared to fight back. I'm not going to make the same mistake." Can you imagine being 6 years old and saying those words, meaning those words? Sarah stared at her daughter for a long moment, then she pulled Penny into a tight hug. "You're just like your grandfather," she whispered, "brave and stubborn and too good for this world." But Sarah didn't throw away the knife. She hid it in the top of her closet just in case they needed evidence later. What neither of them noticed was the small camera hidden in the hallway smoke detector. Vincent Cole's people had installed it 2 nights ago, while they were sleeping. They were watching. They were always watching. The televised competition took place at the Silver Spoon Arena, a massive cooking facility built specifically for the Junior Chef Masters show. Everything was chrome and glass and bright lights. Cameras everywhere, an audience of 500 people in the bleachers. Penny felt tiny standing in the staging area. There were 5 finalists total. Penny was the youngest by far. The others were Trevor Martinez, age 12, who had been trained by his uncle, a professional chef in Los Angeles. Trevor was tall, confident, and kept telling everyone he was going to win. Jade Washington, age 10, a quiet girl with glasses who specialized in pastries. She had already published a recipe book online that had sold 10,000 copies. Kyle and Kayla Brennan, age 11, twin siblings who worked as a team. They finished each other's sentences and moved around the kitchen like they shared one brain. Their parents owned a catering company. And then there was Penny, 6 years old, 3 feet tall, wearing an apron that dragged on the ground. The host of the show, a cheerful woman named Monica Reeves, bounced onto the stage. "Welcome, welcome, welcome to Junior Chef Masters. Are you ready to see some incredible young talent?" The audience roared. Penny's hands were sweating. She wiped them on her apron and tried to breathe. "Wait, I need to tell you something crucial." Before the competition started, the contestants were taken backstage for final preparations. That's when Penny saw him. Vincent Cole stood in the VIP section, wearing an expensive suit and sunglasses, even though they were indoors. He was talking to the show's producers, laughing like they were old friends. Which they probably were. Vincent was famous. He probably knew everyone in the industry. When his eyes landed on Penny, his smile disappeared for just a second. Just long enough for her to see the warning in his gaze. Drop out now or else. Penny forced herself to look away. Her heart was hammering so hard she thought everyone could hear it. "Hey, small fry." Trevor appeared next to her, smirking. "You lost?" "The daycare center is down the street." "I'm supposed to be here," Penny said quietly. "Sure you are." Trevor laughed. "Look, kid, I get it. Your mum probably signed you up thinking it would be cute, but this is a real competition. You're going to embarrass yourself on national television. Do yourself a favor and quit now." Before Penny could respond, Jade stepped between them. "Leave her alone, Trevor." "Whatever." Trevor rolled his eyes and walked away. Jade looked down at Penny. "Don't listen to him. He's just scared." "Scared?" "Of me. Of anyone who might beat him." Jade smiled. "I saw you at the regional audition. That soup you made. It was incredible. You belong here." Penny felt a warm feeling in her chest. "Thank you." "Come on," Jade said. "They're about to start." Stick with me. I'll help you reach the high shelves. For the first time since arriving at the arena, Penny smiled. Monica Reeves stood center stage, her smile so big it looked like it hurt. Contestants, welcome to your first challenge. She gestured dramatically at the cooking stations behind her. Today, you will prepare a 3-course meal in 2 hours. Appetizer, main course, and dessert. The twist. She paused for effect. You must use all of the mystery ingredients in your basket, and you won't know what they are until the timer starts. The audience oohed and ahed. Penny felt sick. 3 courses in 2 hours. She had practiced individual dishes, but never a full meal that fast. Contestants, take your places. Penny climbed onto her double-stacked step stools. She looked at the covered basket in front of her station. Her hands shook as she gripped the cloth. Ready? Monica called out. 3, 2, 1, cook. Penny yanked off the cloth. Inside her basket, squid, strawberries, black rice, goat cheese, and jalapenos. She stared at the ingredients. How were you supposed to make 3 courses out of squid and strawberries? Around her, the other contestants exploded into action. Metal clanged, knives chopped, pans heated. Trevor was already moving like a machine, his hands flying through prep work. Penny took a deep breath. What would Grandpa do? She opened her backpack, she had been allowed to bring basic tools, and pulled out Grandpa's notebook. She flipped through pages frantically. There had to be something. Some recipe that used weird ingredients. There, page 47. The rule of opposites. Grandpa had written, when you get strange ingredients, don't fight them. Find the opposites. Sweet with spicy, soft with crunchy, ocean with earth. Make them dance together. Penny's mind started working. Squid could be grilled until crispy. That would be crunchy and ocean-flavored. Strawberries were sweet. Jalapenos were spicy. Black rice was earthy. Goat cheese was soft and tangy. She could make them dance. Her small hands started moving. She had watched cooking shows with Grandpa 1,000 times. She had practiced knife skills until her fingers cramped. She could do this. Little did she know, someone was about to make sure she failed. 20 minutes into the challenge, Penny was doing well. She had her appetizer planned, grilled squid with strawberry jalapeno salsa on crispy black rice cakes. For the main course, she would stuff the squid with spiced goat cheese. For dessert, strawberry mousse with black rice pudding. It was risky, it was weird. But it might work. She reached for her bottle of olive oil and stopped. The bottle felt wrong, too light. She opened it and sniffed. Her face went pale. This wasn't olive oil. This was vegetable oil mixed with something else, something that smelled chemical, artificial. If she cooked with this, her food would taste like poison. Someone had switched her ingredients. Penny's eyes darted around the kitchen. All the contestants were focused on their own stations. The cameras were everywhere, but they were filming the action shots. Trevor flipping a pan, Jade piping frosting, the twins working in perfect sync. Nobody was watching Penny's station, except there, in the shadows behind the equipment, a stagehand wearing all black. He was looking right at her, and when their eyes met, he smiled. A cold, knowing smile. Then he disappeared into the darkness backstage. Penny's breath came fast. Vincent's people. They had sabotaged her ingredients. 90 minutes remaining, Monica announced cheerfully. What would you have done? Would you have told the judges? Would you have given up? Penny made a decision. She grabbed her basket and marched straight to Trevor's station. Hey! Trevor looked up, annoyed. You can't be over here. It's against the rules. I need to borrow some oil, Penny said. Please, mine spilled. Trevor's eyes narrowed. Spilled? How convenient. You're trying to sabotage me by wasting my time. I'm not, I promise. I just need a little bit. Please. No way, short stuff. Figure it out yourself. Trevor turned his back on her. Penny felt tears starting. She blinked them away hard. Crying wouldn't help. She turned to leave and ran straight into Jade. What's wrong? Jade whispered. Penny explained quickly. Jade's face went serious. Come on. Jade took Penny's hand and led her to her own station. Without saying a word, she poured half her olive oil into Penny's container. Here, use mine. But now you won't have enough. Jade shrugged. I'll make it work. That's what chefs do. She smiled. Besides, someone once told me that cooking isn't just about winning. It's about helping each other tell our stories. Right? Penny felt her eyes filling with tears again, but good tears this time. Thank you. Go cook, Penny. Show them what you've got. 2 hours later, all 5 contestants stood behind their finished plates. Penny's hands wouldn't stop shaking. She had done her best, but she had lost so much time dealing with the sabotaged oil. Her dishes looked okay. Not great, just okay. Trevor's dishes looked perfect, 3 plates arranged like art in a museum. The judges, Patricia Marsh, Marcus Chen, and Raymond Torres, walked down the line, tasting each contestant's food. They made thoughtful noises. They took notes. They whispered to each other. When they reached Penny's station, Patricia raised an eyebrow. Interesting presentations. Very simple. Simple meant bad. Penny knew that. Patricia tasted the appetizer first. The grilled squid with strawberry jalapeno salsa. Her expression changed. She looked at Penny, really looked at her. Did you make this entirely by yourself? Yes, ma'am. Patricia took another bite. The flavor balance is extraordinary. The sweetness of the strawberry cuts through the heat of the jalapeno perfectly. And the squid is cooked flawlessly, not rubbery at all. She turned to the other judges. Taste this. Marcus and Raymond tried it. Their reactions were similar, surprise, then genuine appreciation. The main course, Patricia said, moving to the second plate. The stuffed squid looked a little messy on the plate, but when Patricia cut into it, steam rose up carrying an incredible smell. She tasted it. Silence. Then, this is professional-level technique. The spice blend in the goat cheese filling is sophisticated beyond anything I would expect from... She paused. How old are you again? 6, ma'am. The audience gasped. Some people had forgotten just how young Penny was. Patricia's face did something complicated. She looked at Penny the way you might look at a ghost. You said your grandfather taught you? Yes, ma'am. Henry Brooks. I remember Henry, Raymond said quietly. I worked with him briefly in the 90s. Before, he trailed off. Before he was sabotaged, Patricia finished. She stared at her plate. These flavor combinations, this technique, it's just like Henry's work. In the VIP section, Vincent Cole stood up abruptly and left the arena. His face was red with anger. The judges moved to Penny's dessert, the strawberry mousse with black rice pudding. Patricia took one spoonful, then another. Then she set down her spoon and looked at the cameras. I need to say something on the record. Her voice was loud, clear. This child has just prepared a 3-course meal that many professional chefs couldn't execute. The technical skill, the creativity, the balance, it's remarkable. She looked directly at Penny. Your grandfather would be very proud. Penny felt hot tears running down her face. She couldn't stop them. The audience erupted in applause. After the cameras stopped rolling, Patricia pulled Penny aside. Sarah was there too, standing protectively close. That oil you used, Patricia said quietly. It wasn't the standard oil we provide, was it? Penny froze. How did you... I've been judging competitions for 30 years. I know when something's off. Patricia crouched down to Penny's eye level. Someone tried to sabotage you, didn't they? Penny nodded slowly. Do you know who? Penny hesitated. If she accused Vincent Cole without proof, no one would believe her. He was too powerful, too famous. No, ma'am, she lied. I don't know. Patricia studied her face. If someone is trying to hurt you, you need to tell the authorities. This is serious. I know, but I don't have proof. It would just be my word against whoever did it. Patricia sighed. Be careful, Penny. Whatever is happening here, it's bigger than a cooking competition. She stood up and looked at Sarah. Watch your daughter closely. Don't let her out of your sight. Sarah's face went pale. What are you saying? I'm saying that talented children sometimes attract dangerous attention, especially when they carry the legacy of someone who had powerful enemies. Patricia glanced around the now empty arena. Henry Brooks was murdered. Everyone in the industry knows it, even if the official report says heart attack. Someone didn't want him telling the truth about his work. What truth? Sarah demanded. Ask your daughter. She knows more than she's saying. Patricia walked away, leaving them standing alone in the massive space. Sarah turned to Penny. Baby, what is she talking about? What truth? Penny knew this moment would come eventually. She had to tell her mother everything. Mama, she said quietly, Grandpa didn't die from a heart attack. He was murdered, and I know who did it. That night in their apartment, Penny showed Sarah everything: the notebook, the letters, the photos proving Vincent Cole had stolen Grandpa's recipes. Sarah read through the evidence with shaking hands. When she finished, she looked at Penny with horror. Vincent Cole is one of the most powerful men in the food industry. If he finds out you have this— She couldn't finish the sentence. He already knows, Mama. That's why he sent the knife. That's why someone sabotaged my oil today. Penny took her mother's hands. But we can't give up. If we do, Grandpa died for nothing. Sarah pulled Penny into a fierce hug. We're going to the police tomorrow. We're showing them everything. They won't believe us without more proof. Vincent is too rich, too famous. We need something stronger. Like what? Penny thought for a moment. The competition is being filmed. If I can win, if I can get on national television and tell Grandpa's story, people will listen, people will investigate. Vincent won't be able to hide anymore. Penny, that's too dangerous. He's already tried to hurt you once. What if— A loud crash interrupted her. Both of them jumped. The sound came from the kitchen window. Sarah ran to look. The window was shattered. Glass covered the floor, and in the middle of the broken glass was a brick with another note tied to it. Last warning. Drop out, or your mother pays the price. Sarah's hands went to her mouth. Oh, God, Penny, we have to— No. Penny's voice was hard. We don't run. We don't hide. She picked up her phone. But we do need help. She dialed a number she had found online earlier that day. It rang 3 times. Then a woman's voice answered, FBI Fraud Division. How can I help you? Penny took a deep breath. My name is Penny Brooks. My grandfather was murdered by a famous chef who stole his life's work. I have evidence, and that chef is threatening to kill my mother if I don't stay quiet. There was a long pause on the other end. Then, stay where you are. We're sending agents to your location immediately. What happened next still gives me chills. But Vincent Cole wasn't done, not even close. While Penny and Sarah waited for the FBI, Vincent sat in his office across town, watching security footage on his computer. Footage from the hidden camera in their apartment. He had heard every word. He picked up his phone and made a call. Change of plans, he said coldly. The FBI is involved now. We need to move faster. He paused. Yes, I know what I'm asking. Just do it. Make it look like an accident. A fire, maybe. Something quick and clean. He hung up and took a sip of whiskey. Should have dropped out when you had the chance, little girl. He whispered to the screen, showing Penny's terrified face. Now everyone you love is going to burn. In the apartment, Penny suddenly felt cold all over. She looked around the room, her 6-year-old instincts screaming that something was wrong. Mama, she said slowly, I think we should leave. Right now. The FBI said to stay. Mama, please. We need to go now. Sarah saw the terror in her daughter's eyes. She had learned to trust Penny's instincts. They grabbed their coats and ran for the door. 3 minutes later, exactly 3 minutes, the apartment building's gas line exploded. The blast shattered windows for 2 blocks. Fire erupted through the entire 3rd floor where Penny and Sarah had lived. The building became an inferno. Emergency vehicles screamed through the night. People ran into the streets in their pajamas, crying and calling loved ones. 2 blocks away, hidden in an alley, Penny and Sarah watched their home burn. Everything they owned, every memory, gone. Sarah held Penny so tight it hurt. How did you know? I didn't know, Penny whispered. I just felt like Grandpa was telling me to run. In exactly 5 days, the final round of the competition would begin. But first, Penny and Sarah had to survive long enough to make it there. And Vincent Cole was done with warnings. He wanted them dead. And he was willing to do anything: burn down buildings, hurt innocent people, destroy evidence, anything to keep his empire of lies from crumbling. The FBI agents arrived at the burning building 4 minutes too late. When they found out Penny and Sarah had escaped, they immediately put out a protection order. But here's what nobody knew: Vincent had people inside the FBI, people who owed him favors, people who would tell him exactly where Penny and Sarah were being hidden. The hunters were closing in, and Penny only had 5 days to expose the truth before Vincent Cole silenced her forever.